It's been a while.
It has indeed.
No, great to see you again. It's been 2 years since Belonging: The Truth Behind the Headlines came out in the cinema, in which you and the Ailís Grangemouth dispute featured, because you were right at the centre of that dispute. And they've asked us to come back together today to talk about that and how it's all gone and what's happened in the last 2 years, really. So I just wondered how you're doing, what your thoughts are on it, and, you know, particularly I'm interested in what your reaction was when you first saw the film, because you steadfastly refused to watch any of the edits until the actual premiere in London.
Yeah. No, I think it's good to catch up. It doesn't seem like 2 years.
Doesn't it?
It doesn't seem like almost 6 years since the dispute. And so it's good to reflect, to be able to have a chat and reflect as well. But reflect on the success of the film. I think congratulations and thanks to you for doing the film, for putting your heart and soul into it. And what came out of it, and the success in terms of awards was just phenomenal. Whether that's, you know, we've got the awards here, the Cardiff, the Welsh Festival, and the Romford, and the other one, what's the
Argentinian one for the Labour Film Festival,
Yeah, just absolutely amazing. And I think for me, the fact that you said right from the beginning this was about getting the story out there, and I think we have got the story out there wide and far across the world, and I think it's just, I'm delighted, absolutely delighted, and the success of the film has helped me from a personal side as well to kind of move on as well, you know. So it's really, really good.
No, that's amazing to hear, because I am ever conscious that the success of the film has come out of the adversity of Grangemouth, what you went through, but not only that, with the two other disputes, the Royal Mail dispute and, you know, the News International dispute at Wapping. Because, you know, speaking to everybody, I certainly, before I made the film, didn't really have an appreciation of what you all went through, and how the strength of that togetherness and the belonging to the union kind of supported you all and brought you through to meet the other side.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, and I think for me, it was an honour to be sort of lined up alongside those other disputes and those other trade unionists who went through hell, and I felt privileged to have been included, and for our dispute, and it's because it wasn't just about me, it wasn't really about me at all, it was about somebody trying to break the trade union, and, you know, but to have met the people that were involved in the other disputes as well, and get to know them, you know, in a small way, was a real privilege as well.
Yeah. And you also met Mick and Mac, Mick Penkhoffman and Max, and Mick wrote the music.
And that was that. They're two amazing people. They really are, and I'm so grateful to them. So genuine human beings, as well as trade unionists and you know, stalwarts of the labour movement. And I would love to meet them again and enjoy their company very much indeed.
I've had some amazing reactions to the film and the people in the film. From your perspective, what was the best reaction that you got?
It's hard to really kind of differentiate between. The good thing is I don't think I've had any negative reaction from anyone, and I think in terms of the most positive reactions, for me it was good to get real positive reactions from family, you know, the wider family that might not quite have been engaged, you know, in the forefront of the whole dispute and what was going on at the time, and I think it kind of reaffirms your self-belief, and I think that's what I was able to do when getting reaction from ordinary trade union members who only had prior to seeing the film, only would have seen in the newspapers or on the television, which, as we know, weren't exactly shining a favourable light on me or my fellow trade unionists at Grangemouth. So no, I think that was probably
the Grangemouth screening was pretty eye-opening for me, actually, because I thought the local community would know more, but because, as you say, of what happened in the press, they didn't. But that particularly for me was great. The other one that I had was in Barnsley, where even before the Q&A had finished, someone had signed up to being a trade union member and came up at the end and said, "I've just joined."
That says it all.
Yeah, which was great. And was there any surprises for you?
I mean, arguably you could say that it was surprising that a lot of people didn't know as much, and it just showed how people are, sort of sucked in by the right wing media and television,
or too busy these days to be able to take the time for it. And one of the things again that did surprise me was the young members, how angry they were when they found out that they hadn't been taught industrial history in the way that we were possibly taught when we were younger. And they're so curious, young people. They're great. They go off and find out more, and a few of them have got Mark Lyon's book and about Grangemouth, and but there was quite a lot of anger from young people when they saw it, actually, about what there is held back from them in the media, even with all their social media ability to do that research.
Well, I think there's that educational side of it. I think is vital, whether it's our film Belonging or whether it's the Ne Passaran. I think it's opening that up to, and opening the trade union movement and the history of the trade union movement up to young people. So we're in some way making it easier for them to access the information and find out really what's went on and what's currently going on.
Actually, that's that was something that has really amazed me and continues to amaze me, is the coverage that we've had worldwide. Because particularly when we were making the film and everyone was getting involved with the film, it was, it's a UK-centric film, it's a trade union film, it's in a niche, and that's just not proven to be the case. It's people are interested because they know it's a history that they've not been told before, and plus all the reveals with the police and the government and how much they're hiding. And one audience member gave me the line of, "You've proven conspiracy theory is conspiracy fact." I love that line. It is a great line. And, and we always, as you know, right from the beginning, set out to say, it's not a film that will tell you how to think, but it'll ask you to think again. And I think that that's really resonated across the world, from Argentina to New Zealand to America, 3 film festivals abroad, and 10 video on demand platforms, including Amazon Prime, kind of the last people that are looking after independent filmmakers, really. They're right there, and it's being watched.
Great,
so your face is all over the world, Stevie.
I keep looking. I've got the poster right behind my desk. And every now and again I'll turn around and catch a glimpse of it and go, "My God, that's not me," because it seems like it's a different universe, even, and I think the time that we made the film, although it was quite a bit, maybe, I don't know, a good few months, maybe even over a year after.
A year. It was February 2015. 15.
It was. I just wasn't in a good place, even though I was away and I was working for the union. It just seemed like I was, where I am now and have been for some time is just completely different from that period where the effects mentally and physically to an extent as well were still really, really, I was kind of in that zone. But the film itself and the build up to the film's release and then sitting down with the family watching it, you know, and the particularly in the Glasgow Film Theatre was just amazing, and it's just kind of lifted me out of that all the way, you know, since then, and it's been great.
That means so much, actually, to me, and I know it will to all the people that have worked in the film, but it really does, you know, because as filmmakers, we don't often know what happens, or, you know, or writers or whatever, what happens. And I, you know, I've said to you before, I feel truly blessed to have met everybody in the film. And I genuinely think that everybody in the film and all of the people in the trade union movement, there's so much bravery around, and there's so much goodness there, and a lot of laughter as well, which surprised, you know, getting to know people. But really, you know, that forwarding for a better world, better working conditions, and that being on the right side of history, frankly, is incredible. So I'm really touched and pleased that it's helped.
Oh, absolutely.
On a personal level as well.
Definitely, and I think from it also gives not only with the solidarity that was shown during that period of the dispute and what have you, but the solidarity that was shown by members and branches during the making of the film, and you know, supporting the making of the film, and turning up to see it, and bringing people with them who may not have, you know, been aware of the full facts. All of that kind of renews your faith in the trade union movement, and it's and people. And
quite, for me anyway, it's quite humbling sometimes. It's like, you know, you're up there and you're speaking about the making of the film and what's happened to, you know, you, which I've only really learned from our interviews and meeting you and the research that we've done. But yeah, it's just incredible the response that people have had, and as that continued solidarity on it.
And I hope, I have no evidence for this, but I hope anyway that the film, and particularly obviously the section about Grangemouth and what went on, would helped to bolster the members at Grangemouth who continued there after I left, and who kept fighting and regained the union recognition late last year. So, I'm sure that in some way that the film would have helped to give them that kind of, how can I put it?
Inspiration, maybe, motivation?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, they would have known what they were up against. And they could, you know, manage to work with that.
Because
I like to think so too. I hope so.
Because, believe it or not, you know, probably some of the members who wouldn't have been fully aware of all the stuff that was going on, and either in meetings with, you know, horrible managers, being extremely horrible, but also in terms of, you know, what was being written in the press and what was being said on the news.
But even that, you know, with the film, you know, I interviewed you for over 2 hours. I interviewed for Pat for about 2 hours. You know, and it was really difficult to, you know, cut any of it down, because it was all incredibly important information. And, you know, the film is an hour and a half long. I think the Grangemouth bit's about half an hour. Referring it to it in different ways as well. But, you know, plus Ailís, your daughter, we interviewed her for about half an hour. So there's about 6 hours of interview, which I've just given to you. So it's up to you if you want to release any of that, even in Word format or whatever. But what I'm saying is, it's also, the film is still a sanitised version of everything that happened to you, because there was a lot more that went on. And but hopefully it is reflective of what went on, not just at Grangemouth, but linked back 35 years to when, you know, Thatcher started all of this. And in fact, my view now is that Murdoch started it all, you know, as soon as he arrived in Britain. So that led up to, you know, everything that happened to you and your emails being able to be in the Sunday Times and published there and all of that. So so it's just, even the film is just a tiny bit of what happened.
I think the film has helped to change people. I think it has helped to change the mindset. It might not be quite as far and widespread in that respect as we would like yet, but I do think it's certainly, I believe that it's changed people's certainly changed people's perception of how and why that happened at Grangemouth, and the link back with especially all the way back to Wapping, and people talking about it in the same context as the miners' strike, and the linkage is quite clear to see it, but it's clearer now for other people to see that might not have.
That's incredibly humbling, actually. Thank you.
I genuinely believe that.
No, thank you. Well, we now have the 1 hour version as well, which hopefully will be out soon. So I'm just too humbled now by what you've just said. I'm like thrown by that. Thank you for that. That's really, I'm really quite touched with what you said about the film. And as you know, I mean, it's just been a great honour for me and the team to make it and meet everybody and everything. We are continuing. It's still available on DVD and online. One of the actual things we've not really spoken about is there's a huge number of community screenings have gone on from branches and in communities. And again, quite a few of them have used them to raise money for local charities and local causes, which is great. People donate to food banks and things like that. So hopefully that will continue with branches all around, picking up again for the 2nd year anniversary, because it's still as relevant today as it was 2 years ago, and
definitely
continues to be. So hopefully we'll take it from there.
I think it would be excellent if all the branches could pick it up and arrange showings for their members and perhaps for their wider communities as well. And
hopefully, and Q&As, etc. And then hopefully we're going to have it in Parliament in September, October.
That would be excellent. That will be very interesting.
Yes, indeed.
And I will not be holding back.
That's a good advert for going along. Stevie, thanks so much. Great to see you again.